eFuneral is an online platform that helps families find and compare funeral providers and funeral planning in general. So a lot of people use eFuneral today to find pricing information for area funeral homes, read reviews for funeral homes in their area. We actually have over 4,000 funeral home reviews, which makes it the largest base of funeral home reviews anywhere in the country. And also to find articles and videos on topics related to end of life. At this point, we have hundreds of different articles and videos, and there's dozens of new articles posted every single week. So that's what eFuneral is to families that are looking for funeral planning information. We also act as a source of lead generation, essentially, for end-of-life providers. Essentially, for families that want to connect with pre-screened partners, we provide a way for them to do just that, and those partners pay us a fee to be able to do that. My partner Brian and I thought of the idea for eFuneral when my cousin died about 2.5 years ago. And it was a situation for my family where one day he's with us, the next day he's not. My cousin was a relatively younger guy. He was in his 40s, and he had health issues, but it wasn't as if he had a terminal illness. So for my family, the process of first dealing with his death was a very difficult thing, but then also planning the funeral service was also difficult. We had 6 funeral homes within just 2 miles of where he lived, and we were quickly trying to figure out which one's better than the other, what pricing did they charge, because my family had a pretty limited budget. And what we found was that the access to getting information to decide which funeral home to choose over the other was not readily available, at least not online. So my family essentially ended up picking a funeral home and hoping for the best, but it dawned on me when I was at dinner with my wife after the service took place, where the only reason we were at that restaurant was because of reviews I read for it on Yelp, that society essentially has more information to decide where to go to dinner than where to do something that's much more important, such as plan a funeral, and certainly more expensive. So that whole experience is really what led my partner Brian and I to launch eFuneral. With end-of-life providers, it's a very traditional industry. It's an industry that hasn't seen a ton of innovation over the years. So there are certainly challenges with trying to open up to whether it's funeral homes, whether it's cemeteries, and help them see that we actually have technology, but it's technology that can help them do what it is that they need to do. So it is a challenge to try to communicate with these groups. Really, the ultimate way we can do this, though, is by showing them. So by releasing it, by having very early adopters use our platform and have success with it. That's really the best way we can show end-of-life providers that this is something that's actually valuable. The best thing about starting a company, and specifically eFuneral, is that I know for a fact we're actually helping people. And there are families that have written us letters, emails. We hear from the hospice social workers. We know how often they're recommending it to families and how many times it's actually helping them. But we built eFuneral to bring positive change to an industry that's needed it. And we're bringing that change.